A large update has hit the public test branch for Path of Titans, with a lot of changes to combat and other features like bleed, and changes to the sound system, as well as a test for game modes, which I didn't get to play, but if I can, I will talk about it. That being said, let's just dive into this update changelog and talk about it all. There have been a huge swathe of combat changes from bleed, slick feathers and scales, and combat changes overall. So we're starting off with slick feathers and slick scales. I know when this ability first came out, it was a mixed bag. People liked the fact that you couldn't be pounced, but people thought that it was unbalanced and that technically you should still be able to be pounced. Well, it has now been changed. Slick feathers and scales no longer provides complete immunity to pounce. Now, when you buck or struggle, it will instead increase stamina drain of the pouncer by an additional 30%, which is actually a lot less than I thought it would be. That being said, let me know what you think. Do you like this change to slick feathers, or are you not happy with it? Anyways, now let's go to bleed, because this is also substantial. Bleeding now has an increased maximum cap to 3. Also increased bleed on Allosaurus's hatchet bite, Allosaurus's claw attack, Suchomimus claw attack, Stegosaurus tail attack, Stegosaurus wind-up tail attack, and Concavenator claw attack, and Concavenator's ripping kick. The change is intended to make bleeding more powerful for the creatures that rely on its damage. While I don't know the values on the new bleed attacks, it is important to know that increasing the cap of maximum bleed to 3 is a substantial and a large change, mainly because, well, let's be honest here, bleed is very effective in the game, and being able to increase the maximum amount of bleed that can be faced is obviously going to make it even stronger. However, it's something that we'll have to wait and see here. Now, moving into the combat changes, we see changes to a fair few dinosaurs like Iguanodon, Megalania, Rex, and more. So, let's start with it. So, decreased base Megalania stamina recovery. It was previously much too high, and now it's more in line with its peers. We will continue to monitor community feedback for both Venom and Megalania. Tyrannosaurus's face tank now reduces 30% damage, and also fixed a bug where the Tyrannosaurus not taking 20% increased damage by default when attacked on the head, which is interesting. Changed Iguanodon's health to 700 and combat weight to 4000. This is a substantial nerf, and I'll talk about that in a second. That being said, they've reduced Kentrosaurus's max health and health recovery rate slightly. This change is in conjunction with the new higher bleed damage, so it's not as resilient as previously, still while having powerful attacks. That being said, it is now going to be a lot better. They've increased Ceratosaurus's thrash cooldown to 8 seconds, but they've also unhooked the thrash with the main attack. So when thrash is on cooldown, you can still do your main bite attack as Ceratosaurus now, which is great. And Armor Tail for Picnomosaurus and Ceratosaurus now reduce 25% damage instead of 85 to 95% damage. This is because if you were to combo this with the reflective damage passive traits, that would make this a very, very OP thing, and it essentially meant that you were basically pretty hard to fight. That being said, we're going to circle back to Iguanodon now, because I want to talk about these stat changes. So, Iguanodon's current stats on the live branch of the game is 800 health and 5000 combat weight. This is going to be nerfed by 100 for the health, so 700 health, and by 1000 by the combat weight to 4000, which, like I mentioned earlier, that is a massive nerf. And I am curious, what do you think about that? Let me know. There are also tweaks to the night in the game. So basically, they've increased brightness of fog on low shadow settings to improve nighttime appearing too dark when foggy. They've also fixed medium lighting settings, making the game appear darker at nighttime, which is interesting there. Following this with sound changes, they've reworked the way footsteps calculate the attenuation based on growth stage. They will now fade out much quicker when younger compared to adults. This is most notable on large creatures like Spinosaurus. Overall, reduced the range at which footsteps can be heard. Crouching and walking walking will also now play on overall quieter footsteps sound for dinosaurs. Broadcast calls now travel much further than other calls. Adjusted water and beach sound effects to not reach so far and reduced the volume by 40%. Reduced the rain and wind volume slightly. Albertaceratops footsteps are now heavier overall. Megalania footsteps are now lighter overall. Reduced volume of Tyrannosaurus calls by about 50% and fixed inconsistent sounds for digging burrows with Tyrannosaurus Rex as well. I'd love to know what you think about these sounds. I actually really like the changes to the fact that when you're walking and crouching, your footsteps are quieter compared to when you are running. I do wonder though if walking and crouching has different volumes for the footsteps as well, so you're louder if you're walking and quieter if you're crouching. I wonder if that will be the case. Who knows there, but that is a really nice change. And for server owners, they have fixed quite a few stuff, mainly. So they've fixed double-clicking admin panel players' names sometimes not working, server day length setting not being functional, server start time and server dynamic time of day config options not applying on startup, that has been fixed. Admin character getting stuck when colliding quickly against certain objects, also been fixed. The chat will now show the name of the sender of Whisper All, which is interesting. I didn't even know you could do a Whisper All ability. Fixed the Whisper All command not being logged in chat API as well. Is Whisper All something only staff can do, or can everyone do that? I actually have not seen that be done before. There are a lot of general fixes, and as I normally go over these, I tend to just cover the main stuff here, and that's what I'm going to do again because there is a lot. And the changelog, you will see how much there is here. So I'm going to go over what I think are the best ones, my favorite ones, and then of course I'll let you guys pause it and have a read of the full changelog because this is very, very substantial. Firstly, they've added a dedicated collection button for mobile. They've fixed friends list player search not working. They've fixed the abilities of Ceratosaurus becoming unusable if doing the charge bite right after activating emotes. They've fixed jittering book animations. Certain dinosaurs very slightly floating above the ground. I hope that means the Jesus bug has not been fixed because, you know, sometimes when you just accidentally just chill or sit down and sometimes you just see a dinosaur slowly floating. I hope that has not been fixed because that is the best bug going. They've added a quick time button for booking to better explain the booking mechanic. Adjusted Ceratosaurus and Alderon melanistic mouth tint to be darker. Feathers are now slightly translucent. They have now removed the auto close UI menu functionality when attacking due to its often getting stuck and auto opening when taking damage or closing when players were trying to customize their characters. Thank God. They've updated Albertaceratops's trot animations, which I will showcase as well. They've also fixed home cave debuff, not stopping knockback. They've fixed pounce invisibility exploit. They've fixed Albertaceratops sliding when crouching and walking, and they have fixed a lot more stuff like skin color not being allowed to shed despite having all the colors fully unlocked. Skin shed skippable in edit screen. Damn it, they fixed it. They fixed the bug, the best thing ever, where you could literally go to the eye and change it and skip a whole skin shed. That's really annoyed me actually. They fixed AI critters sinking to the ground after being picked up, and fixed for tutorial quests being deleted if a character is created from the game mode character selection menu. Now I'm going to really quickly showcase the change to Albertaceratops's trot animation. It's going to be a before, which is going to be on the screen, and a after. So have a look, have a watch, and let me know what you think about it in the comments. One last thing I want to talk about is the new game mode test that happened. Yesterday when they were doing the test, or well on Sunday when they were doing the test, they tested Team Deathmatch, King of the Hill, and then finally they tested Capture the Egg, which is a brand new game mode. Now, Capture the Egg works on the same map currently as the other game modes. It's on the Team Deathmatch map that we all know and love from that game mode. However, in this test there were two teams. You had the red team and you had the blue team, both of which were on opposing sides of the map, and it was quite simple what you needed to do. You just had to capture the opposing team's egg and bring it back to your delivery point or nesting point, and then you get a point on your team. Now this works until the time limit's up and the team with the most eggs captured wins. And that is pretty much quite a standard way to explain this game mode. However, by the looks of it, I'm not entirely 100% sure how this works because I wasn't there, but it looks like when an egg is being captured by one team, you can't capture another egg from that same team as well. So like say if red team have lost their egg, another egg doesn't magically spawn in until the egg has been captured. So it will be in play for a little bit, kind of like capture the flag. You have the option to take it back to your nest and deliver it back, or if you're the opposing team, you capture it and, you know, get a point there. And I feel like that's how it's going to work, and while I haven't been able to test it properly, I haven't been able to get the proper answers for that. So hopefully the screenshots that I have which were from Matt, because he posted them in the test chat, and anybody who has played on this game mode, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you think about it because, well, I didn't get to play it. Anyways, that is everything. I'd love to know what you think about this new update. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's always interesting seeing more updates on the game as they come out. And that new Albertaceratops trot animation is quite cute as well. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on everything. What do you think about Capture the Egg? Did you play it? I'd love to know what you think. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.